Hey guys, it's me, Monfire, and welcome back to another video, where today, guys, I'm going to be telling you a story about what happened when I was playing Onward, and going to be the rise of a new group I'm working on, called RA, or other words, going to be known as Reamerica. As you can see in front of you, our flag, and let's get started with this video. In front of you now, you see the map of Downfall and Onward. And the red circled area is where our Capitol building was. Now, getting up to this point to have a Capitol building was not easy. What I'm going to be telling you today is the story on how we got our Capitol building set up and the beginning of our great nation that hopefully will be able to continue for a long time. Starting in the red circled area is when we encountered a spawn camper in a small building on the outskirts of the map. Me and a group of people went after him and eventually successfully defeated him. Afterwards, we got attacked from people up on the hill, which I marked in the alien emoji. We tried to move up towards the hill to get them, eventually successfully pushing them back into the town, which will be highlighted in the green. So while we continued to shoot at them, using the positions that we were just at, we were in a back and forth gunfight. But eventually, a group of snipers snuck around to the side of us and started to shoot, so we ended up getting shot at from two sides, and a long battle pursued, which ended with us in a long battle, which lasted over an hour, which was back and forth shooting. Radio contact was eventually made. No agreements, though, so a group of us decided to push. Eventually, we would regret this decision at us getting stuck at another building. Our people back at base, which we thought could trust, decided to turn against us and fire at the building that we were in. We pushed the snipers back onto a little building on the hill, and the people down below in the city continued to shoot. Me and 3 other people got stuck for another hour before help arrived, which was made from 1 to 2 people. Eventually, they decided to shoot at us inside the building, so me and 1 other decided to sneak out and ran back into the town, making our first official base, which I marked in yellow. But during this time, people began to leave the lobby, and new people began to flood in, and some people who stayed behind repositioned themselves in a hotel in front of us, as I marked in red. Eventually, more people joined in, and a person who became the commander of a group called the Peacekeepers joined. He decided to come to the building that we were in. And our group and his little group that he formed over that time came together and made a treaty where he will take the bottom half of the map and we'll take one of the upper corners. And during this time, there was great peace for all. But as all Onward groups go, there's eventually those traitors. Basically how it went is that the Peacekeepers sent a sniper squad to overlook our position to help us. But instead, another guy who joined in grabbed their snipers and told them to reposition on another side of the map. So the Peacekeepers thought they were enemies and had us help them clear them out, which led to us having another 30-minute battle against these guys on the hill, which eventually our games crashed and we had to reload the server. When I came back, I discovered they got around where we were, and were up on a hill shooting at our allies, the Peacekeepers. I ran over to them to help them, as more people who were spawning in were beginning to shoot at them, so I went around the town and came up on their side to help them. But as we were doing that, more people were shooting at us from the town. So eventually I decided to head back to my base as enemies were closing in. I later found out I left at the perfect moment, because when I turned around, their base was being completely overrun. When I managed to get back to my HQ, I tried to radio contact them. The first 2 times didn't work, but the third I finally got an answer. They ended up asking me if there was any way I could stay at their base, But eventually I lost all communications and my base began to get overrun. And all I could hear from outside was... And the next thing I knew, I was